as Sabres win their third in a row after losing 13 in a row. Bills clinch the second seed with a dominant win. When I say dominant, I mean dominant win over the New York Jets. 8-0 at home, 13-3 record, going for 14-3 next week. And, of course, the Bandits win their home opener. Banner night, championship banner night, for a complete one Buffalo weekend. The mask is back, baby. You got to love it. And it's got to come up because I'm sweating. Oh, I don't know why I do it, but for whatever reason, I decide to put that thing on like when I hit the show is starting soon thing. So I'm sitting here for like 5 minutes with the show on as I'm getting ready to produce the show. And I'm like, I could have waited to put this on and I just didn't. And maybe because I'm just that excited. I don't really know, but yeah. Here we are. Buffalo Sabres with a dominating, actually, no, the Bills, the dominating performance. I'm not going to say the Sabres, because the Sabres did not dominate the St. Louis Blues. The Sabres just took better chances with their, took more advantage of their opportunities than the St. Louis Blues did. And honestly, they did get goalied a bit today because UPL was absolutely fantastic. The Buffalo Bandits win on banner night. You know, I'm not an avid Bandit fan, but I do love the sport. I like going to games because they're really exciting. The atmosphere is incredible. But yeah, a one Buffalo sweep weekend. How could you not be happy as a, Buffalo sports fan? Just an incredible performance, start to finish, from the Bills today. Josh Allen really trying to put his, final stamp on the MVP race, which I think it shouldn't even be close. And I know Lamar Jackson's having a fantastic year, but in my opinion, when you talk about the most valuable player, it's not all just about stats. Even though last year it wasn't about stats. It was about who was the most valuable. When Lamar Jackson won it, when Josh Allen literally led every single quarterback statistic, and when all of a sudden there was such a focus on interceptions. This year, you can argue, I don't think it's debatable which player is the most important to their team. Joe Burrow is having an MVP caliber season. Well, Joe Burrow has 2 number 1 wide receivers on his team, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You look at the players that surround Lamar Jackson with, Derrick Henry, who's at 1,800 yards on the ground this year, which is insanity. You have guys like Zay Flowers, Andrews at tight end. These guys are just all pro caliber players. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Bills, but I mean, until they got Amari Cooper, did they really have a stud at wide receiver? And Amari Cooper's honestly missed almost half the games, half of the game since being traded here due to injury. He had that fantastic catch today. No player has put a team on his back more than Josh Allen. And these are where all these NFL talking heads were telling people that the Bills should prepare for a rebuild year, to retool in the next offseason after, trading Stephon Diggs and taking on that huge cap hit or dead cap hit. You didn't have a true number 1 wide receiver going into the season. They kind of run a 3 running back set. They use Ty Johnson a lot. They use Ray Davis a lot. And then Josh Allen just said, fuck it. I'm just going to carry this team to their 5th division win in a row, clinching the division by week 12. And of course, clinching the number 2 seed, which, up until this past week, the number 2 seed was very up for grabs. Or number 1 seed, was very up for grabs. And then of course the Buffalo Sabres today, again, on the whole deserve to win o-meter thing, I'm sure the St. Louis Blues probably on the better side of that. But at the end of the day, the Buffalo Sabres took more. The St. Louis Blues were probably, on the better side of the deserve to win o-meter tonight. But the Buffalo Sabres took better advantage of the opportunities when they had them. Special teams played a big part in today. And let's just say this: 8 points in his last 6 games. Jack Quinn finally looks like he's back. Finally looks like he's truly healthy. That shot is back. This is the Jack Quinn we've been waiting for all season. This guy went with 5 points in his first 24 games, I think it was. Now he's got 8 points in his last 6. Guy's been on fire. Yuri Kulik, 5 points in his last 5 games. He's starting to emerge. Has gained a lot of Lindy Ruff's trust. I tweeted it out earlier. I said, the one thing I love most about this guy is he is just zero hesitation with shooting the puck. He is not afraid. He does not hesitate. He doesn't wait. His release, he knows how good of a shot he has, and he's not afraid to use it. And how can you not love that about him? It's fantastic. So, and then again, UPL just playing out of his mind today. I think the shots were 25-11 after the second period. Like, he's the whole reason that game after the second wasn't really out of hand. They had a lead going into the third with 2-1. I believe it was 2-1, and then they tied it in the third. It's just unbelievable. I think he finished the night with 35 saves on 37 shots. Clearly first star honors. Jack Quinn finishing with 2 points. Tage Thompson with a goal and an assist. Jason Zucker with a goal and an assist. Bo Byram, who, again, I've just been very impressed with throughout the season, with an assist. Dahlin with an assist. Krebs getting on the score sheet with a goal, and Kulik with a goal. And it's Mattias Samuelsson, again, another guy who has really turned his game around since coming back from injury in the last, 4 or 5 games. I think he has – I'm not going to sit here and say he looks like the Samuelsson from a couple of years ago when him and Dahlin were just a power pair on that first pairing unit. But he's taking the correct steps to get back there. Yeah, you can't deny that. I've loved everything I've seen from Mattias Samuelsson, from just playing responsibly in his own end, buying into the defensive structure, blocking shots, getting in passing lanes. He's looked very good. Obviously, there was some back and forth between the Bills games and Sabres games today, so I didn't catch every single moment of the Sabres game. I was at a family party today, just kind of celebrating Christmas a few days late. So everybody wanted to watch the Bills game. I was flipping back and forth to the Sabres game. So didn't catch every single moment of the game. So I don't know. There could have been mistakes out there made by Samuelsson. I don't know. But for the most part, from what I've seen, I've liked it a lot. You can't deny that he has, again, in the last 2 weeks, really turned it around. We're going to hit the peanut gallery here real fast. I knew Mauricio would be in there, even though we got on kind of late because, it took me a while to get home to Tonawanda from Cheektowaga today. I ran into some late Bills traffic there on the 90. Thank you for, chubby fingers. Thank you for these shows. How about it? Sabres, Bandits, and Bills winning. Again, I agree. One Buffalo, baby. One Buffalo. Thank you, UPL. Rest of the team was sleepwalking. Numerous high-danger chances in front of net. Blues players alone, unmarked. Sabres lost many puck outs. Yeah, again, for once, the other team got goalie tonight. Was fantastic. OP -1 on the night. Not a botter. I don't know if you're a new listener, but welcome if you are. Appreciate you hopping on with us. Not a botter. Always like to give the new people a shout out when I see them. Good thing UPL was good and Binnington was terrible. Yeah, Binnington, who hasn't been bad this year, was not on his game this year or game tonight. Definitely not. He was bad. Ended with a .750 save percentage, 4 goals on 16 shots against. Again, UPL came up huge. Goals for the Blues came from Braden Shen and Walker, with assists going to Neighbors, Torpachenko, and that was it, I believe. Yeah. Oh, and Parayko, who I love a lot, the right-handed defenseman, big guy. I've always wanted him on the Sabres. Parayko with 2 assists tonight. So, Sabres, again, just you kind of saw how the way they were performing, just the way they were skating, not really just as engaged as they were in the previous 2 games. But I thought, again, defensively, they did not look terrible. They blocked a lot of shots tonight, from what I read. I could be wrong. But they found a way to win. They got the
performance of a life, not a lifetime, but a fantastic performance from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, as my co-host normally Connor Hurley would say, 6K. And they found a way to win. They found a way to get that one in the garage. Yuri Kulik, let's talk about that goal too from Yuri Kulik. Just the heads up play, the backhand pass off the boards to himself, just that straightaway speed of his, just getting to that puck off his own pass off the boards, taking it wide, seeing that tiny little bit of error that Binnington was giving him, and just, again, his shot is incredible. He knows how good of a shot he has, and he slipped it by Binnington, and Binnington's behind him looking like, oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, that's the player Yuri Kulik is. I saw somebody in the goal tweet on the Two Goalies One Mike handle said, he's got a little bit of Kotolik in him. Kotolik would shoot the puck from the locker room if he could. I hope he ends up being much better than Ales Kotolik, because Ales Kotolik, for the most part, was a one-trick pony. We all know what that trick was. It was the shootout. Had a guy at a cannon of a shot, but he never used it. So I hope he's a more well-rounded player than Ales Kotolik and produces more, because he's a first-round pick. But yeah, I again, in terms of willingness to shoot, I do see that comparison from Mauricio. Team needs to play consistent, flawless hockey, meaning no turnovers, own neutral zone, be aware of front of net, all 5 players blocking out forwards. Power seem uninterested, aloof, turnovers. Yeah, I mean, Owen Power, again, in his own end, just did not look great tonight. -1. I think he's in third place. I think that was the thing, in third place for even strength points among defensemen. But again, he used to be he was in first a couple weeks ago. Great, but I don't know. I just for me, I don't know. I just I need more. I need more from Owen Power in the defensive zone. We've been saying that for a while. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. I know you hear Lindy Ruff saying that nobody works harder than him on getting that figured out, and I hope that's true. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. So, but let's hit some more comments here from you guys in the Peanut Gallery. Sorry, I'm just kind of producing the show on my own today, so I apologize for seeming kind of distracted. But 1 second here. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that, boys and girls. All right, let's get right back into it. There we go. Wanted to get the ticker on the bottom for you guys. But hey, actually, speaking of which, I could have did this while I was messing around there. Remember, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at all of their locations. Fatty Beer is the best spot locally to go catch a Sabres or a Bills game. Great beer selection, guys. We did our live show there this past Friday. Me and Hurls recorded together in the same room for the first time since he came on the show. It was a great time. Sabres with a dominating win in the Goat Heads that night. And I could say this for certain. We partook in a couple adult beverages while we were there. They have just a great selection. Make sure you get there. They have Sabres game day specials. I'm pretty sure they have Bills game day specials too. So make sure you get there. They have a New Year's Eve party, a big annual New Year's Eve party coming up. So make sure you check that out. And down at their downtown location. So you can find them at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter, fattybeer.com. And of course, I remember this to not mention Buffalo Logo Apparel, other sponsor. This blue collar hoodie right here that I'm wearing. Honest to God, one of the most comfortable hoodies I've ever had. Let me give you guys a quick view of the back, a little modeling job for you. See? Oh yeah, there you go. Honest to God, one of the most comfortable hoodies I've ever had. We have some RJ merchandise up there too. Make sure you check that out. There comes in 2 different colors, blue and gold and red and black. And of course, just their endless Bills options on there, all locally designed. We try and support local businesses as much as we can. You can find them at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter. Hit some more comments here from the Peanut Gallery. Any Detroit Red Wings rumors? Where's Connor? MIA. Bring back Cully and Ty. Connor, listen, he's home for the first time in like, I don't know, 8 months. So I told him that if he couldn't come on, it's fine. Spend time with your friends and family while you're home. He'll be back in Cali soon. So, this is obviously not a priority for him while he's home. And I completely understand. Ty is always, he's always a breath of fresh air on the show. And I'm sure if he could be on, he could. But again, understandable. Big Bills win today. A lot going on, holidays, family stuff. So it's not, it's not that big of a deal. More comments here from Not a Blotter. Cooley thumbs up, Power Cup thumbs down. UPL wasn't even a star of the game, which is sad. That is mind-blowing to me that UPL with 35 saves would not be one of the 3 stars. From Josh Stone, played well enough to win, played poor enough to lose. It happens in hockey every night. Points on those nights are so important to success. Agreed. I'm not sure what the out-of-town scoreboard looked like. I know a lot of games went in Buffalo's favor. If you want to try and claw and get your way back in this wild card race. Obviously, we're not even halfway through the season yet, but the East is bad enough where you could, string off. I said this after they won their first game in a row. If you can find a way to rip off like 5 in a row, or 5 out of 7, or 6 out of 8, like you can get yourself right back in this. The East is really struggling. The teams that were once powerhouses are no longer dominating. I think this is the weakest I've seen the East look in a very long time. And you could easily get yourself right back in this when you just ripping off a few more wins in a row. This is the 4th time this season that you've won 3 games in a row, but you haven't yet been able to get over that hump and win 4. I can't. They got Dallas next. Obviously, they've beaten Dallas once this season already. That's a true test. That's a game you're probably obviously not expected to win. Can someone in the chat let me know when they play Dallas? What day of the week that is? Is it I don't think it's tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? But that's Tucks and Pucks too. Classic night I always like to enjoy whenever I got a chance to go to a game on Tucks and Pucks. So we have the longest winning streak in the Atlantic Division. What a world. New Year's Eve. Okay, that would make sense. It being on New Year's Eve. Listen. So Dallas on New Year's Eve. That could be a real statement game. It really could be. A team that has been struggling like Buffalo, they'll probably tend to get a lot of backup goalies. Hopefully we get Dallas's backup, because I think Jake Ottinger is incredible. I don't know. We'll see. That'll be a fun game to watch, I think, because they've already beaten Dallas once already this year. So Dallas might be looking for a little payback. But you like the resolve that you saw from Buffalo today. Not one of their best nights, but they found a way to win. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was fantastic. I doubt we get Reimer to end the year. They're probably going to go right back to UPL. I imagine he will not touch the ice tomorrow. They'll give him the full day off. He shouldn't touch the ice. Give that guy some rest. Maybe even like an optional practice tomorrow. I don't know. But, after the night he just had I would personally just let him have a day, a full day rest, get him ready for New Year's Eve. That's just my opinion, I think, personally. Canadians, Pittsburgh, and Detroit all winning. Obviously not good for Buffalo. Casey DeSmith could be the goaltender we see on New Year's Eve, which, again, I am in all favor of. Y'all ain't ready for this 14-game winning streak we're about to be at. Okay, Kevin. Okay. Yeah, but still, I still have faith, man. I don't think this team still is good enough, deep enough to be a true playoff, even a wild card team. But that being said, if they buy in defensively, we've seen 3 games in a row that it leads to offense. Again, Buffalo did not have a ton of scoring chances today, not a ton of high danger scoring chances. Like I said, they had 16 total shots on net, found a way to win and took advantage of the opportunities, especially on the special teams. I have to say, you have to have a much better performance against Dallas, right? You have to. Even defensively, as good as the defense, you have to be better. You want to beat that team. The West is obviously the most dominant conference in the league. And rightfully so. There's a lot of talent on all those teams. Colorado is struggling, but that's still a very good hockey team. Dallas, obviously, guys like Jason Robertson, very good hockey team. I believe we have Vancouver coming up soon. I'm not sure. I do know that both Pedersen and Quinn Hughes are supposed to be missing some time. I believe we're getting Vancouver soon. If someone in the chat let me know when they're coming. I think we're going to be in that stretch where neither of them will be playing when we play Vancouver. So that would be very beneficial, of course, for Mauricio. Tuesday, Dallas. Thursday, Colorado. Saturday, Vegas. So that's a gauntlet right there. I don't care how much Colorado has, been streaky this season. That is still a very talented hockey team. They have Nathan McKinnon. They have Kel McCarr. They have other very great, very good secondary players on that team. And then Vegas, again, might be the best team in the league. They're just so stacked top to bottom. But again, you've been able to beat them in the past. So, man, you could easily go 0-3 after going, looking at that schedule, man. That's tough. That's tough. But we'll see what this team is made of, right? Here in the next 3 games. We'll see what their resolve is. We'll see what they're capable of, to say the least. You need to make sure that this top line is clicking again. And Tage Thompson with a goal assist tonight. An absolute, again, one of the best releases in the league. I can't believe they let him walk down Broadway the way he did and just fire it. Nobody contested him. Would love to see more of that. But, you need him rolling. You need Tuck rolling. You need Peterka to get out of this funk he's been in. And you need this kid line to continue doing what they've been doing. Quinn, again, has looked fantastic. Cousins has looked so much better. Peterka, I don't know. Zucker obviously has stepped up. I need more from Ryan McLeod. I know McLeod, he started off very well, but he's been very streaky as of late. I'm not sure over the last 5 games what his points have looked like, but that's a guy you traded one of your more top-end prospects for, Matthew Savoy. You need more from him offensively. You need him to eclipse his production from last year when he played on a wing with Draisaitl, where he had over 30 points. I need more from Ryan McLeod. He brought him in for, the speed. There is some skill there, obviously, but I need more from that guy for sure. So favorite moment of the game was the goal by Yuri Kulik. Now that we won 3 in a row, I'm hoping this time we can build on it and not buckle like last time. Dallas is a big test. Bring it on, Buffalo. Agreed. The Canucks are January 21st. I think we might fall into that area with them where we could miss both those players. I know Quinn Hughes is going to miss more time. I think Tocchet said week to week. We might have Pedersen in the lineup that particular game, but he said week to week for Quinn Hughes. So here's keeping my fingers crossed that they're out beyond the 21st. As much as I love watching both those guys play, and I like the Canucks, I do. They're my second favorite team. I'd much rather not have to play against those 2 players. I'm not sure if it's a home or away. Regardless, I'd rather not have to play against the 2 of them. There have been some rumors, as released by Elliot Friedman, that Buffalo and Detroit were trying to get something done before the roster freeze, and he expects that to continue. I'm not sure what player could be on their mind. Obviously, a lot of people want to jump right to the conclusion of Patrick Kane because of the local ties. I don't know. Again, I look at that roster. I'm not too sure who would be available. I know that they just fired their head coach. I'm not too sure, who would be. I mean, you guys can take your guesses in the chat. Players that I would love to have are guys like J.D. Compher. Obviously I wouldn't be opposed to Patrick Kane at all. I mean, there's Dylan Larkin. I love Dylan Larkin. Their captain, I know he was involved in some trade rumors earlier in the season, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Lucas Raymond isn't going anywhere. I can't imagine it's for a guy like Vladimir Tarasenko The only thing I think of in terms of defensemen, and they have Ben Chariot, I don't see it being him. Justin Hall is a right-handed defenseman. Jeff Petrie, right-handed defenseman. I don't really know who it could be. Moritz Seider, I can't imagine they're treating Moritz Seider. So I really don't know who it could be coming back to Buffalo. In a deal there, I don't know. A top 6 guy, like, again, that whole team has been struggling. I don't know. There's not a lot that really jumps out at you on their roster that's realistic. You know what I mean? So I would love, but top of my list would be Dylan Larkin. They have Andrew Kopp, who again has has massive playoff experience. Tyler Mott, a lot of playoff experience. JT Compher on the left wing, who very irresponsible two-way forward. I think their best player, in my opinion, is hands down Lucas Raymond. But he's not going anywhere. DeBrincat, I don't think he's going anywhere. So that leaves me to looking at guys like Patrick Kane, Vladimir Tarasenko, Jeff Petrie. He's 37 years old. I can't see it being that guy, even though he does play an honest stay-at-home game. He's only got 6 points and 6 points on the season. He's a -7, but he's a right-handed shot defenseman, 6'3", plays a heavy game. I just don't see it being that guy. And what would you be giving up for him? Right, swapping draft picks or prospects would totally make sense with Kevin Adams. One of their defensemen is what they are reporting. Again, but who? Like, who do we want outside of Moritz Seider? I don't know. Seider, 19 points on the season. He's a -1. I would love Moritz Seider, but why would you trade that kid? He's 23 years old. Like, a team that's rebuilding and trying to, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all. I want a right-handed shot defenseman back, or a guy that's, even if he's a left-handed shot, is very comfortable playing on the right side. Is it Justin Hall, 6'4", 194 pounds, 3 points on the season, -2, but that's a team that's been struggling all season. I don't know. 32 years old. I could totally see it being a guy like Justin Hall. I could totally see it being Justin Hall, without a doubt. Eric Gustafsson, no, I'm not interested in, unless he can play the right side. I'm not interested. Simon Edvinsson, 14 points on the season, but he's 21 years old and he's a +4. He's one of their only players on the plus, a defenseman on the plus side, plus minus side. Like, why on earth would you? No, I just can't see it. No. I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. And it's definitely not going to be Ben Chariot. I think he's got a big contract. 33 would be nice, but again, I need a guy that can play the right side. Not on the left-handed shot defenseman. Maybe this is a thing where you see a guy like Ryan Johnson being in play. He hasn't really had a place in this lineup. They're looking to get younger, for sure. They're already pretty loaded at the left side, but maybe this is a spot for Ryan Johnson where they try and flip him. Simon Edvinsson, I don't know. I just, again, nothing. Justin Hall, that's the guy that really kind of jumps out to me. That's the name that really jumps out to me. Again, I'm not too familiar with these other defensemen, these left-handed shot defensemen. They can play the right side, but that's the name right there that jumps out to me is Justin Hall. He's big. He's 32, so he's not, very long in the tooth. He's got probably a few good years left in him. Looking here, career-wise, what he's done. Let's see. Let's check out career-wise how he's looked throughout his career. And he played 6 seasons with Toronto. Remember him pretty well from Toronto. He's had some decent point production years, 23 points in 69 games in 2022. His final year with Toronto had 18 points in 80 games. Again, doesn't jump out at you a ton, but he's had a good career, plus minus wise, this is only the second time he's been on the minus side of plus minus. And again, it's a very deceiving stat for sure. But he hasn't been on the, I mean, he's only 27 games into the season for him. So I would be fine with being Justin Hall. Actually, if it is a defenseman, that's where I'm going to put my money on. I bet you it is Justin Hall. I want nothing to do with Petrie, but I don't mind it being Justin Hall, depending on the return. What's it going to cost? So for me, if it's Justin Hall, I'm fine with it. So Cousins to Detroit for a first and a prospect. Kevin Adams like a rebuild. God, I hope not. God, I hope not. I don't. He would lose his job tomorrow if there was announced tonight that was happening. He would lose his job tomorrow. But if you guys hold on one second, I think my dogs are losing their minds. Sorry about that, everybody. Dogs were losing their minds to come back in the house, so I apologize for that. Dogs know what the trade is they're trying to tell you. I think it's Justin Hall. If you were to ask me if it's the defenseman, that's the guy I think it is. It's probably going to be Justin Hall, which I don't hate. I don't hate. He hasn't had a bad career. He's played in the playoffs. I wouldn't hate it. He's got experience, plays big. Maybe he's the guy that helps Owen Power. I mean, the more I talk about it, the more it makes sense. So we're going to hit some post-game comments here from Lindy Ruff and the team, from, of course, Brian Koziel, who always on top of those things. Let's see here. Actually, no. He did not get the post-game comments. Obviously, a lot going on with the Sabres today, or the Bills today. And of course, them being away, maybe. Let's see if Lance got it. Jason Zucker on Yuri Kulik. He's been phenomenal. He's got so much talent. His game is only going to keep better. You love hearing that from a guy like Jason Zucker. That says a lot, especially, again, from a guy, as experienced and as well respected as Jason Zucker on Yuri Kulik. Lindy Ruff, the Sabres were just a step too slow, caused them to be disconnected, and they spent too much time in their own zone. Special teams finally came through for them with Zucker's power play goal in the third. That's something we've been dying to see all year. From Jason Zucker. A couple weeks ago, that would have been a really tough loss for us. We learned from it, and we're kind of finding what we call our B game. We definitely didn't have our best, and I think it was good. That was a good sign for us. Yuri Kulik So not a lot for the post-game comments. Obviously, I'm guessing because due to the Bills game. But yeah, that being said, guys, Sabres win 3 in a row. They're right back at it against Dallas on New Year's Eve. Hopefully, maybe we get some more transparency, some more clarity with these trade rumors. What's going on between Buffalo and Detroit. Maybe it's a different team. Who knows? Again, if it is a defenseman on that roster, I think it's Justin Hall. I think it is. My gut tells me that's the guy because I don't see it being. I don't see it being Moritz Seider. I don't see it being Simon Edvinsson. Those are 2 young guys, the guys you want to build around. Again, I don't know what the Yeiser plan is in Detroit. but we'll see. From Jack. Albert Johansson for Krebs. I don't know. I don't know. I just realized not one of Buffalo's defensemen has a no movement or no trade clause. I mean, yeah, it's a very young defensive core, so a lot of them don't have it. You need to have 7 years in the league, I believe, before you can qualify. 7 years or the age of 27, you qualify to, have a no movement clause. I'm not sure. Actually, let's look into that. Let's dive into that real quick before we get out of here, because I am curious. Who does and doesn't have no movement clauses? I don't know. Contracts. Let's see here. From Puckpedia. All right. Let's see who does and doesn't have trade protection. All right, let's go right to the defenseman. Ben Chariot has trade protection. Justin Hall does have trade protection, but I think it's a modified no movement clause, which means he can, as a list of teams, I imagine Buffalo would be on it. Jeff Petrie has a no movement clause, but he's a UFA. Eric Gustafson, 32, does not have trade protection. Albert Johansson, left-handed shot defenseman, obviously doesn't have 23 years old, doesn't have trade protection. So right now, the only defensemen on that roster that do not have trade protection are Maurice Sider, Eric Gustafson, who's 32 years old, left-handed shot defenseman, Simon Edvinsson, but again, I don't see it being him. Like, why would you trade that guy? He could be, a staple on for your defense for a long time. And then Albert Johansson, again, another 23-year-old defenseman, which after this year, he heads into RFA status. I mean, that could be it. Maybe they want to avoid that whole, all the RFA stuff. I don't know. But for me, I just, I want a right-handed shot defenseman back. Justin Hall, I think that would be a win for Buffalo. Personally, that's my opinion. So right there, you have it. Who does and doesn't have trade protection on that blue line in Detroit. From Rizzo, Duane, keep hope, have faith. There's always better times. Go Sabres. Hate Leafs. Yeah, always hate the Leafs. Kev likes developing talent for other NHL teams. Yeah, he does. We have, but don't do that. Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here. But I do want to make an announcement. Something kind of mulling over my brain. It's not an announcement, just a thought. I think we might do a fan of the year or a follower of the year for the show. Whether it's on Two Goalies, One Mic, I'll hang up and listen. How engaged you are with us on social media. I'm thinking about doing a follower of the year because you guys are like I can't stress it enough how often like the relationship we have, especially during these live shows that we have, how much we engage with you guys on social media. I genuinely think, and everything will come into play with it. I don't know. We'll think of some type of prize for whoever we give it to, but I think we're going to do a follower of the year. I'm going to talk it over with Hurls, see what he thinks, but I think you guys deserve that because you guys are in the weeds and in the shit just as much as I am. And I don't know if I'd be able to get through all these post games without you or engaging with you guys on social media. We need to meet Miss Duane. Nobody yet, unfortunately. Love the stream. Thank you, Kevin Adams. Appreciate it. Even though you've ruined my hockey team. Three-way trade, Detroit, Raiders, Buffalo ends up for future considerations. God, I hope not. But yeah, I think we might do a follower of the year. So let me mull it over with Hurls. We'll talk about it. We'll announce it in the new year, maybe. Do some type of giveaway. But just stay tuned. I think that would be a good idea. That being said, guys, if you do enjoy the stream, you do enjoy our content online, whether you're watching along on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you watch, or if you're audio only, you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcasts. Just do us a favor. Make sure you hit like, leave us a good review. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button, leave a comment. Please make sure you hit the little bell icon. It helps us so much with the algorithms. I can't express that enough. It means a lot. If you watch along on Twitter, make sure you're subscribed to myself at Duane S39. Hurls, he's at C-Hurls13. Obviously at 2 Goalies, 1 Mike. You can have, there's my at right there at Duane S39. You can find me on most social media platforms on that handle. Facebook at Duane Steinel. Same thing with Connor Hurley. Please make sure you give us a follow, hit the like button, just show your support, and just help us with that algorithm. It gets us more exposure that way. So you have no idea how much that stuff means to me. So that being said, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. I know it's championship week for a lot of fantasy owners, myself included. Holding out hope for 1 week right now. I have one league right now to see if I win. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose the other. But enjoy it. Enjoy some football tonight. Enjoy this win for this one Buffalo weekend between the Sabres, the Bills, and the Bandits. And remember to make sure you get over to your local fatty beer and enjoy a beer over there and let them know 2 Goalies on Mike's not yet. So with that being said, guys, keep on saying that being said. You guys have a fantastic Sunday evening, and we will talk to you soon, probably on Tuesday. Actually, Tuesday is New Year's Eve, so maybe not. I know with the holidays, the schedule, we try to record every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. The schedule gets a little funky, but we'll keep you updated. So you guys enjoy your night, and as always, go Sabres.